Juneteenth mean to you? Juneteenth is more than the day before my birthday, June 20th. And more than Father's Day every 6 to 7 years. It is more commonly the day referred to when slavery officially ended and is a significant moment in American history. We all have access to the internet, human sources, to research in depth the historical significance of this day in detail, so I will bypass writing to that end. Instead, I will write about what this day means to me and how I acknowledge it each year. The 19th of June is a day I hold remembrance for those ancestral giants who endured suffering, protected spirit, built community bonds, and a nation. I remember the atrocities and savage treatment these black bodies experienced. I remember the power of mind, the strength of character, and the spiritual ascendance required to wake to another day. I remember the often secret community bonds built to support one another, the sharing and caring needed to survive such conditions. I remember the buildings, the crops, the roads, the structures necessary for a young country to prevail against all odds that were undeniably built, planted and harvested, cleared, created on the backs of enslaved black bodies. On this day, I also take conscious action to do something of special importance for the black community or an individual. A country built and founded on the enslavement of blackness has, without question, systemic oppression at the base of every institution in said society. This is a day I use to actively uplift and provide a space of generosity and kindness, to show through action that indeed black lives are as valued as any other life. Finally, on Juneteenth, I celebrate the legacy of these heroes, of which my very existence is a part of. I commit to joyous engagement and thankfulness aplenty, of which reading a poem by a black poet is something I inevitably do aloud because I'm an actor after all. Below is a poem I wrote on the Juneteenth of 2020 following the murder of George Floyd. It's titled, Over the Smokestacks. Somewhere over the smokestacks of dreams deferred, we hold this truth to be self-evident that all are equal in the eyes of God. Somewhere beyond the blasts of night, made bright by blinding rage, Lady Liberty marches through the street rocking justice in her arms, while the promise of tomorrow is heard whistling upon the wind. Someday I'll wake with rested eyes, brightened by happiness pursued, and the stars, those stars, will wish upon me. Someday these eyes, that skin, those lips, this mind, these arms and legs, those fingers and toes, someday our bodies in motion shall all align upon the shores of a reverend doctor's dream defined. And as the waves ebb and flow, we will know we are free at last. We are free at last. God Almighty, we, the people, will have freedom that lasts. So cheers to the work that has been done. Cheers to the work that needs to be done. And cheers to working till it's done.
And cheers to Will.
Now, let's beat Melissa at some cards.